Hey guys, it's Nightshade here, and I have a question. Is anyone else so obsessed with reading that you have like one book in multiple different ways? Like I have this series. They just did these graphic novels version of the book, but the original ones I have the paperback, the hard book, the audio book, all the different types of them. And I have to say, out of all of them, I really wish they would continue with like this kind of format, especially since this is a book meant for preteens about 10, 12 years old. I've had it for years and I love the series. But also, it actually shows a little bit more like pictures and stuff instead of just words, which if your child has trouble reading, like when I was growing up, I had trouble reading. It really helped to be able to see the actual pictures, because that actually allowed me to put the scenes together. Just like when I was reading Twilight, I could not actually read that book because I couldn't understand what was happening because I couldn't picture it in my head. But later on, as I was watching the movie, after I watched all the movies, I could actually put the movie scenes into the books, and while they aren't exactly accurate, I could at least get the picture, which allowed me to understand what was happening a little bit more. Sorry about them. Doggies are happy. But I don't understand why more series don't do this. I mean, if you have a popular book series, why did the authors just stop at the popular idea? I mean, like this series, I know a lot of little girls know about it. There's plenty of people who bought it, but it doesn't mean they know very much. It does not mean that they were popular. It doesn't mean that they had to keep going. They didn't have to make this, but they chose to, and it actually increased their sales. They've made 4 of the graphic novels so far, and I hope they continue. I really do. But unfortunately, like the audiobooks, I think they're going to end because the audiobooks only go up to number 4, even though they've got 30 books inside the series, and they could be making a lot of money off of it. But I don't understand why there's a lot of like really famous books, like Twilight. Yeah, they did a graphic novel, but they did it so late. After all the movies came out, you really couldn't get the idea what the author was trying to say. Well, this series, this was completely on the author and the graphic novelist who made the characters and made it possible for them to be able to do this type of stuff. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, why can't more books do that? Who cares if your series is big or small? If someone has trouble picturing your book but really loves it, then continue it. Or if you see a lot of fans that want a certain thing, like for me, listening to the audiobooks helps sleep at night. I listen to a lot of audiobooks at night because they help me go to bed. But also, it's kind of sad that after the 4th book, I have to physically read the books, which means I don't have that series continuing, which means I can't continue on with it. And it makes me sad for that reason. But I really do hope that they continue and that more series do this. Just like Ever After High, Monster High, Pokemon, they've all done graphic novels based off of their series to help their band grow. They wanted their brand to grow, to get out there, to be able to do this type of stuff. But there's other books I have, like Rainbow Magic, and I know they're very small, little tiny books, but also there could be kids who even reading is difficult. So for the kids who physically are having trouble reading, why not give them the graphic novel version? Why not give them one with a bunch of pictures so they can try to figure out what the words mean? Because you want to know what? Yeah, it's a small book, and yeah, they have more that are meant for little kids, which I have some of those. But also, you got to realize that in reality, they may not be able to read those at all because of the fact that they may be having trouble understanding some words. Even if you work with a reading consultant, it does not mean that every word is possible to understand. I went through speech therapy growing up. I went through reading consultants because of my disabilities. I had trouble reading, writing, spelling, and I still have trouble spelling and with math because there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But because of that, I physically, when I'm reading them, sometimes I still trip over words. I'll reread a whole entire series. Right now, I've got 4 stacks of 35 books I'm reading through right now. And some of them are audio, some of them aren't. There's a few big series like Alison Weir's Captain of Aragon that physically I can't read out loud because those words are using Old English or they're using words I can't pronounce myself that I have to have the audiobook for. But it would be cool to be able to see that book as a graphic novel for people like me to understand a little bit more. Thanks for listening. Bye.